Hi everybody, and welcome to our first workshop in the Sloan-C Blended Learning Series. My name is Matthew Russell, and I have the pleasure to act as your main facilitator for the workshops in the Blended series. These workshops are all offered by members of the Learning Technology Center at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, where I am an instructional designer and lecturer. We've all produced a great number of resources and workshops on blended and online education in the LTC, and use these tools to develop blended and online departments and programs at UWM and beyond. Indeed, the team in the LTC has given workshops on blended and online education around the U.S. and internationally many times over the years. In addition, we're always looking towards new and emerging technologies that can be incorporated into educational contexts and have been awarded grants that help us do just that. To that end, we're looking forward to sharing our knowledge and experiences with you, learning and growing with you as you begin your journey towards redesigning your own courses for blended delivery. As you can see, there are a few ways to get in touch with us during the workshop. Please feel free to ask us any questions related to the topics at hand, or even related to technology and education in general, and we'll be happy to discuss them with you. Just like you, we are all educators and passionate about the possibilities of using technology for teaching and learning. In our Sloan-C series of workshops, we strive to be as comprehensive as possible in thinking through all the concepts related to a successful redesign of courses. In this diagram, you can see all the topics and concepts that we'll talk about in our series. In our first workshop, we will discuss some of the broad questions related to course redesign and the basics of designing a learning module for your course. In the second workshop, we'll talk about using rich and multimedia elements in your courses, the possibilities inherent in small group exercises in the blended environment, and how to reconsider grading strategies or assessment in blended. In our final workshop, we'll talk about the best ways to evaluate your course design as you've created it, how to help your students succeed, overcome challenges, and manage expectations, and bring everything together to draft a syllabus for your blended class. What we find rewarding about this series is that it gives you the chance to think through all the details of course design and create a course that meets your needs. We are all excited about the courses we teach and have invested energy and passion into their design. In taking the time here to redesign a course for a new environment, we hope to show you that this new environment can be just as rewarding and fulfilling for both you and your students. The first workshop is entitled Designing Courses and Building a Community. Let's take a few minutes to outline the contents of this workshop and its assignments. Let's take a brief look at the topics in the workshop. As this is the first workshop in our series on blended learning, we begin with a discussion that focuses on the nature of blended learning and how we define it through various course examples. As you may suspect, there is no one standard definition for blended learning or courses. The examples that we share with you will walk you through the process, whereby an instructor made decisions about the exact nature of the blend of the course through a carefully considered analysis of the course that is offered in a traditional face-to-face mode. The instrument that we use in that analysis is called the 10 questions. As you will see, each of these questions touch on essential elements of a blended course and guide you in recasting or developing it for a new, partially online environment. It is important to remember, then, that the 10 questions are meant to act as guides for the duration of our 3-part workshop. You will return to these questions time and again as you change and retool your course over several months, and indeed in future versions of your course. While our first module talks about blended courses in an overall sense, our second module focuses on designing the specifics. As a coherent set of activities that leads to the achieving of a learning objective, learning modules employ both face-to-face and online elements that students must perform over the course of time. Our second module, then, will walk you through several examples of learning modules that have been designed and discuss what decisions were made in that process. In designing a learning module for a blended course, it is essential to remember that online assignments are not simply supplemental to the face-to-face classroom. Rather, a complete learning activity must take place online and become a focus of face-to-face discussion. It is for this reason that we suggest designing a blended learning module using discussion forum assignments, as it really takes advantage of the blended environment. The assignment for this module will ask you to discuss the benefits and challenges of a blended learning module and ask you to consider your role in relation to students in that module. Finally, in our third module for this course, we'll build on our first two discussions and ask you to develop an integrated learning module for your blended course. As with all the assignments in our workshop series, we're hoping that your work will have a practical value for the course you are developing, such that you have the framework and several pieces of your course in place at the conclusion of our series. Now that you know some of the key features of this workshop, let's talk a bit about the workshop structure, requirements, grading, and so forth. The learning objectives for our first workshop are as follows. Reconceive your face-to-face courses for blended teaching and learning. Follow backwards design principles to design a course module. Build learning community by adopting effective practices for asynchronous discussion. Learn techniques for integrating face-to-face and online work, and apply them to your own course. We'll accomplish this through a series of activities that, when completed, will provide you with the knowledge and skills to begin to determine how you can use the principles of backwards design to begin reconstructing the basic components or modules of your course so that it takes full advantage of the blended environment. Along with a few readings in our workshop, there will be presentations on all of the subjects for you to watch. These presentations are structured to give you a good overview of the concepts related to each module and provide examples for how they have been used in a variety of situations. These presentations all are available as links within the workshop and under the appropriate modules. As you can see, these principles touch on both the theoretical underpinnings of redesigning your course and practical examples as to how we have redesigned our own courses according to these principles. In order to successfully complete this workshop, you will need to do 3 separate activities. You will need to post to 2 discussion forums, both of which correspond to the first 2 modules of this workshop. In those forums, you will be asked to post a response to the prompts we've given you on the topic and based on the presentations linked there. You will also be asked to reply to at least one other participant in each forum. Of course, we are hoping to facilitate a discussion in both modules, so please feel free to read and respond to as many posts as you like in order to glean the knowledge and experience of your peers in the workshop. As facilitators, we will be in the discussion forums and respond to postings ourselves to keep conversations going and give you feedback on all your postings and questions. Finally, we'll ask you to submit a basic learning module, one that accounts for the principles of integration and blended courses and centers on the use of discussion forum assignments for your proposed blended course. Before moving on to the next workshop in our series, we'll ask you to complete all these items. As you go through the workshop, please do let us know if difficulties arise, and we'll do our best to help you finish these assignments. What would be the best way to approach this workshop and organize your own time? As you'll note, each module of the workshop lists the required dates for posting and replying in the discussion forum, as well as for the final assignment. For all of the modules, we suggest reading and considering the presentations, prompts, assignments, and other materials during the first half of the week, roughly Monday through Thursday. Then, from Thursday to Sunday, we'll ask you to post and reply in discussion forum areas or post a final assignment. During the first 2 modules, there can be many postings in the forum, and that's a good thing. You can read what your peers are writing when you have the time to do so and post during the weekend. Thank you for your time and attention while watching this presentation. We look forward to seeing you in the workshop and discuss the many possibilities that blended course design offers you for teaching